So many things led to that statement. And but what I want to say is that Yorubas should not deceive themselves. They shouldn't deceive themselves. If they say they cannot trust Igbo again, have we trusted ourselves? Yoruba within Yoruba, Yoruba to Yoruba, have we trusted ourselves? Is this what we're bargaining for when Tinubu was campaigning? Even if Igbo don't say they want to protest, what is happening in Nigeria? Does it not worth protesting? Do we know and do we need an Igbo person to incite us before we protest? We don't need an insight. We don't need incitement from any Igbo man before we protest. We are not mumu. They don't need to tell us to protest before we protest. Are we a cow that we need stick before we move? We so Yoruba are supposed to know where to move and where to caution ourselves. So if anybody want to hide any under blame game to perpetrate evil in this part of country, it will not work, and all of us will remain in one side. We don't need to. I mean, if it is work for us to have political relationship between Yoruba and Igbo, fine. If it doesn't work, then we look elsewhere. But my challenge is this: that we can have with having Igbo relationship. If Yoruba and Igbo match together, definitely we are going to have Northerner as enemy. Am I lying? Because they will have seen it as a ganging up against the North. But where if Aboki enjoy it when Yoruba and Igbo, when there is division, they know that one of us, we are going to be with them. So that is how it has usually been. And from the onset, when we get democracy and during the first republic, there has been a mistrust between Yoruba and Igbo. For instance, we were not born there, but in the first republic, there was election, and that time we were using parliamentary system of government, and to form majority, a particular party needs to have majority. But when we check it, despite that did not have much population, they cannot form majority. So from both sides, they need alliance between a particular region before they can form alliance. And Awolowo think that, okay, you Igbo guys, you are intelligent, you are learned, we also Yoruba, we are not dull. Why not let's come together and form alliance? And what happened? Baba sent his own delegates to Asaba, according to what we hear. But those people that were sending to Asaba, they couldn't meet Sifsik. The only thing they were here is that Sifsik has went to North to go and make alliance with them. And what happened? They make Sifsik that was well learned. They make him just ceremonial president, and they make Tafawa Balewa prime minister. That is the executive. That's one executive power, and they give, and Sifsik accepted ceremonial. The president. Everybody was shocked that what kind of arrangement is this? That me and you we have agreed that we should come to. So I don't know what was in the mind of Sifsik. Likewise, Igbo will say they cannot trust Yoruba because of what happened, what transpired during Civil War. We were not born. They say Awolowo and Sifsik agreed that Nigeria is going to be divided, but it's like misunderstanding of some statement. Awolowo told them that if underline if Igbo were able to go Yoruba, then Yoruba will also have to negotiate its own standing. So the word if, they remove it. It's not that they agree that you go, me too, I will go. So if to say Baba Awolowo is around now, honestly speaking, I will have asked him that, Baba, why do you side Nigeria? Why don't you think like let's Yoruba also pull out? Because the oneness of Nigeria that you fight for is not fair for us. It's not fair for us. And the problem about Nigeria is that every region we always mind our own selfish interest. Nobody care about Nigeria as an entity. Nobody care about Nigeria. Do you know that it's not the Southeasterner that first of all request for secession? Northerner. They were the one that first of all request for secession. Who was there then? It was Agboyeronsi. They were denied. The right for secession. So each region have their own peculiar challenge, but that Yoruba trust Igbo, Yorubas to first of all trust themselves and know themselves inside before they will think about trust Igbo. And I don't know why they usually shout Igbo. What about the one that happened in the north? Can I trust Fulani man now? See the move they make now. During protest, we said we want to protest. Okay, in between somebody that refused to protest and somebody that is protest and want to scatter Nigeria, and they were like raising Russia flag. They were like Tinubu must go, and even that Tinubu think that because we don't. And before even the protest, people have been shouting it that we are not going to protest. They have been saying this. So where did the Igbo go against? I mean, why did the Igbo betray them? Or they have a breach of trust against Igbo? They say they are not going to protest, and they don't involve in the protest. So all these things, Igbo.
But I got to report now. They said Badeja. I think it was linked to the sponsoring of protests in the north.
Who?
Badeja.
Who is it?
It's a special brother to Matale Wale, the former Zamfara governor.
Okay.
So I think they recently apprehended him. They caught him. They caught some briefcase of gold, crested with Libya's former president Gaddafi on the gold. Okay. So I think it was one of the major sponsors that wanted to cause mayhem, during the protest period in the northern part of Nigeria. So do you not think that, just like we've been saying, do you think that like the north, they are not happy as regards what Tinubu, his administration, they want him out? And do you think Tinubu about to pressure for 2025?
Nobody is happy about what Tinubu is doing, but there is different. Let me tell you, Tinubu is a Yoruba man. Either we like it or not, he's a Yoruba man. Either he do well or he didn't do well, he's a Yoruba man. But Yoruba will say, we cannot say because Tinubu is not performing up to our expectation, we should now say that Tinubu must go, or military should come and take over, or Tinubu should be killed. I think you understand what I'm saying. Because before we get to this junction that we have passed through so many things before we reach this position that we have. So it's not Tinubu that caused all the problem that we have. It's just been there. I think it's unable to resolve the issue, and to me, it's adding to some mess. So what I suggest is that why Yorubas should not abandon Tinubu in this political tsunami and is coming, they should not abandon him, but try to correct him. If your son is doing something that is not good, then the best thing for you is to try to be correcting him. So the best thing I think Yoruba should do is try to rally around Tinubu, then try to talk senses to his ear. If he listens, fine. If he didn't listen, then he should face the consequence, but not from us, from outsider. Not from us. We are not. I will not support that it is Yoruba man that will kill Tinubu, or it is Yoruba man that will say Tinubu must go. I will not do something like that. But if I say we should correct Tinubu and we should tell him what he's supposed to do, and we should do it in any form, either protest or by dialogue or by our elder visiting him, not keep quiet when Tinubu is doing something wrong, not keep quiet. We're supposed to continuously telling him we should not keep quiet because it's our brother or it's our father or whatever. But removing Tinubu, or somebody used to say a military man should come up because it's not favoring them this time around, I'm not going to support that.
I'm sorry. So lastly, okay. If Yoruba say that they are not going to trust the Igbos, are they not saying they will not support an Igbo candidate or someone like Peter Obi for 2027 presidency? Do you think that's right? No. Because they are not supporting Peter Obi, that means they will, Atiku and the rest in the north.
Let me tell you, this word you are saying is what divides Yoruba land. Some people, have very evil supported Peter Obi. They thought that when we want to do fairness and justice and equity, the turn should be Igbo. When the presidency is coming to the south, the turn should be Igbo. But to me, let me tell you, presidency is not something that as cheap as people used to think about it. Igbo or Southeast is just part of this geopolitical zone that we have in Nigeria. Let me tell you, for instance, now, if you go to North, almost everybody that, I mean, the ruler that we have been having in Nigeria, they almost come from northwest. Northeast have not produced any president. Are they not? They are also part of northern Nigeria. So it's about political calculation. It's about political calculation. It's about how vibrant are you in politics. And this thing we are talking about is about party affiliation, party affairs. Okay, when you are talking about the turn of Igbo, go to Southeast. Did they join APC? Can they, I mean, can you compare the number of APC we have in Southwest? Can you compare it to Southeast? Now, if you are an investor, if you want to invest, you invest in the area that will profit you. That is a party. That's what I'm trying to say. So that calculation, we cannot say, oh, it is turn of Igbo. Then somebody should come from Igbo. Then all of us should vote for it. Then there is no election again. Because there is party affiliation, there is party difference. We cannot say because it is turn of Igbo, then all APC in the Southwest, they will vote for PDP. Does it sound well to you also? It doesn't sound well. So if to say in 2014, when the CPC, ACN, and some other, when they wanted to join together, the only fragment of Southeast that did that one was on this man, Imo State. That man, what's the name of their governor that time? Okorocha, thank you. Okorocha was the only governor that came from the. You know how many states that joined APC from Southwest now? And when you sow something, what you expect is to reap. You cannot go and reap where you don't sow. Now PDP want to sow their candidates. They want to do their presidential candidate. It's go to North. But Igbo people invested in PDP. Do you understand what I'm saying? Igbo people they invested in PDP, but they were unable to get presidential candidates. If to say PDP give presidential candidate to Peter Obi, they were ready to give. I think, and this thing is about. Let me tell you, it's like you are playing game. If you have Lionel Messi or see Ronaldo in a particular camp, you should know what you will be expecting. You cannot have Obi and Atiku in the same camp, and you want to be talking about Sony, and you think because of Sony, somebody like Obi will beat Atiku in the same party. It cannot work. That's what is happening. It cannot work. Or the same way in the APC, you cannot. Who was able to beat Tinubu in APC? Nobody could. Even he beat the sitting president. The sitting president still want the power to go back to the north, but they were able to beat Tinubu. So Atiku and Tinubu, they are the Ronaldo of the two sides. That's why he doesn't face for Peter Obi, and I like the way he went to Labour Party. So all this power rotation, if to say it's not in Nigeria constitution, it is in the party. And even in the party, is it not the party, same party that we say A today, and they will say A in the morning, and before evening come, they have come to be in the party, the same party. We will do one meeting now. After they left, another one. They call it politics. So it's a game. It's not something that is easy. It's not something that somebody will say, oh, it's our turn now. Then bring it. What about the election? What about the even in 1999 when Northerners wanted to compensate Southwest because of 1993? What happened? We Yoruba, we have our own choice of candidates, Dr. Olufalaye. And what did Northerners do? Northerners don't say, give us candidates. They choose candidates by themselves. They choose Obasanjo. It was Northerners that if to say they want to compensate us truly, they want to compensate us. They should ask Yorubas, oh, okay, bring out candidates. They don't ask that. It was Obasanjo that emerged as a PDP candidate. And Yoruba, we rally around Olufalaye. And what happened eventually? So politics is not about 1 + 1 is equal to 2. It requires so much permutation, a lot of calculation, a lot of philosophical work, and something like that. Okay, thank you very much. You're welcome.
I don't mean to be rude. I don't want to be rude to anybody, and I don't want to disrespect anybody, and I don't want to insult anybody. What I'm saying is that is the real truth. The real truth, the real problem of Nigeria, are Northerners. Northerners, Fulani, Hausa are the problem of Nigeria. They don't want our Nigerian progress. If they are not the one in power, then nobody can do it. It's only them that can do it. If you say you deprive Igbo people from having what is supposed to be theirs, allow them to go for their Biafra. If you say Yoruba people are not competent, they cannot rule Nigeria, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, should just stay and rule ourselves. If we kill ourselves, that's our business. You cannot say no, because Igbos, you think Igbos are thieves, Igbos are wicked, Igbos are this, they are that, they are this. There is no way that there's not the good, the bad, and the ugly. So if you cannot help the Igbos, allow them to go. If you cannot carry the Yorubas, if you don't want them to rule you, allow them to go. Then we, the Northerners, will rule ourselves. If it's going to be better. We are one Nigeria, so we want the best for Nigeria. So we should look at where we are going wrong, so that we can perfect
that. Are you in support of what she said?
Yes, to an extent. I think I want to take one or two things from what that lady was the message she was trying to pass across to people, especially Nigeria, not only Nigeria, or to the world. I think to a point, he made it very clearly that the North, when I say the North, is major threat to Nigeria. The North alone is a problem to Nigeria. Then the second people he mentioned are the Yorubas too, that them too should also be looked into, because then he pointed it very clearly that among these three regions that the Igbos deserve to an extent at least justice. And if justice cannot be given, then the Republic of Biafra should be declared. Maybe then the Fulanis and the Hausas should go to an extent and begin to sort out themselves at the end of the day. Because if we don't modern Nigeria, if there's no plan to modern Nigeria, you know what I mean by modern? Yeah. If there's no plan to modern Nigeria, by now the leaders themselves would have sit down, to give Nigeria the DNA it required for survival. There's nothing like that. And that is why at every point in time, the country went from left to right, from right to left, without proper navigation. I can tell you that very clearly, that the time has come, that options are beginning to come. The whole world is getting signal. The whole world is, messages are being passed. If I tell you the struggle the Jewish nation, the Jewish people went through after 4,000 years or thereabout, they became an independent nation in 1948. Today, the Jews, after a few years from now, has become the strongest nation in the world. Biafrans have been surrounded by glory and honor. And we must understand that. The movement to understand it must go to an extent of celebration. If a Northerner can be saying this, and say no. And see, there are people who are still very optimistic. Because if we don't tell ourselves the truth that we refuse to tell, will first somehow, somewhere along the line, becomes the truth we have to learn. So it is better we tell ourselves the truth and learn the truth. The advancement of their reality is very, very important. And what is the reality? In Nigerian context, because I don't think Nigeria is still a nation, it's a country. Nigeria is just, crafted in corruption. The corruption, Nigeria was born into corrupted. And the revival that has to come with Nigeria did not stand on the foundation. Look at it now. Online in life, if you go down the memory lane, you discover the processes Nigeria as a nation has been taking unto the point we are today. Yes, we stood against rubbish, and Biafrans went to war, fought with nothing for 4 years. Not only Nigeria, not only Yorubas, they fought to go to Yorubas, they fought to go to the Northerners, they fought the whole world for a good 4 years. A nation that has how will I put it? A nation that has no source of water. No, to start with, source of water, nothing. That Ojukwu merely declared out of tension and pressure. After options of survival, they went to Ghana. They went to a place in Ghana called Aburi. Listen, make it sure so that you will know the wayo when they inside the system. After Gowon has agreed to that, they came back. Gowon was briefed that misled. That is why they are experiencing the same thing in Middle Belt and Northern Nigeria. That the Boko Haram is wiping everybody because of the consequences of disobeying agreement. It has consequences. Let me tell you. If you see rules and regulations, that shall not kill. You went and kill. It has consequences.